Mr. Quincy, but with Rebel's guiding hands on the desk, he makes it so easy. So we can just focus on our cast, and Hero better be focusing on the game as he's getting snipped.
Yeah, he is getting snipped. At least he doesn't have to flash because there's no CC really coming. It's just some annoying damage from Levi, and that's a lot of damage, I would say. I mean, 200 HP just from a few snips. That definitely does hurt him, and his recall is not that late that it really will be an issue, but definitely something that is very annoying to have here. And GAM maybe just now plays a deep ward. They just placed a one ward in the top lane brush, so nothing really affecting it too much for the side of Penguin in the jungle here.
Yeah, he should get back in the lane in plenty of time. I don't think they will be able to read which side of the map Levi is starting on. He had plenty of time to rotate down to the red. Where are your eyes drawn here in this early game, Quincy?
I'm really looking forward to see what really Levi can do here. He just now is going for the blue start, so he will focus on the bot lane, and I think playing the strong side around the Jhin Tam Kench lane might be where he's really going for, which is something that maybe Secret doesn't expect, because they tend to play on top side a lot, especially with Kiaya being so fond on carry champions, and Penguin on his side is also going towards the bot side, which would mean that maybe he also wants to play on the bot side, which is here, of course, a Jinx fresh lane, and of course Jinx being ahead is something that would be very frustrating for Jhin to deal with.
Yeah, good trade there out of Eddie, and they're actually just going to flash forward. Juhao immediately wants to make hay while the sun shines, throws out the hook, doesn't get it, gets knocked up into the air by the frog. Eddie stepping forward, wants to zone out style, doesn't land the zap. Another time warp tonic will keep the Jhin safe. Eddie now having to flash away from the tongue. It's a lot of summoners blown, but everyone will survive.
Everyone will survive it. Every summoner blown on the side of Team Secret, so not really favoring them, but they were very, very close to really winning that one. I mean, Style basically living on a sliver of HP, just not then got the heal going for him. And Eddie can still stay back up. I mean, he has a potion going on. He has the longsword plus potion start, so he will have quite a few of those. But so does Style, I mean, on the boot start Jhin. So at the end of the day, it maybe even will favor the GAM bot in here, because they already have the summoner advantage, and also will likely get a small HP advantage as well.
Very true. But of course, Jinx still a bit of a monster clearing out these waves. Levi is here, though. Could potentially make himself known, should be spotted out by that River Ward in plenty of time, but Juhao's going to get knocked up anyway into the W from the Jhin. This is the Team Secret bot lane in so much trouble. They're just going to turn it around, though, because it just doesn't matter. Eddie gets one. He runs around to the lantern. He was juking Levi, but he gets snipped regardless. But now with Penguin joining the fray, B has to find a way out. He goes underwater. He dives back up. There's a Penguin coming in, giving him a kick to the back of the head. But Levi still here, spooled up, and forces them back.
I'm really not too fond of what Team Secret did there, like decision-making wise, but they mechanically played it out to a very high standard. Just getting the first kill there, especially onto AD and Kiaya. He might just die here with... Nah.
Hero cancelled his auto. I don't think he died anyway, but that's not a good auto cancel.
You don't deal 100 physical damage with a single auto take that early in the game with a Jace, so I think he was fine anyway, but yeah, there was one auto take cancellation. I think he just maybe even intentionally cancelled because he didn't want to go closer to the turret there and take a shot himself and maybe just die to Kiaya, so it was maybe even the correct decision for him. And now himself starting with the tier plus longsword, so he will go towards a more scaling approach on the Jace, and I really liked it, because Jace, in the current state of the game, I would say doesn't really scale terribly at all, especially with Muamana, Eclipse, and Cyrildas being items. He can really do a lot in the late mid-game still, and especially against a comp that doesn't really have a full tank, you will be good to go.
Yeah, I think Jace being a potential point of power would be massive here for Team Secret, because I think it's very difficult for GAM to actually engage onto them. Who is engaging? A Tam Kench W? That's already looking a bit dire.
A Realm Warp.
Yeah, okay.
Jhin Deadly Flourish hitting from a mile away, and then they just collapse onto the target. It's maybe actually what they're going for. Or just what actually is a game approach from GAM, I would say, is maybe even getting Kiaya fed and going for like the Hullbreaker Grave side lane threat, and then just forcing Team Secret to panic towards it. But ironically enough, Levi path towards bot side and first of all try to help his bot lane, but maybe that's even part of the plan. Really, like they already know Kiaya will be fine in the top lane, and just let Graves scale here and just help the bot lane out, because the Jhin in isolation would fall off to the Jinx later on, especially in the DPS check, and getting Style ahead would be doing them a great favor as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I did say it on the desk. I think playing through Style is a new look for GAM, and it's a look that I like. Obviously, playing through a Jhin, I think I'm not allowed to praise that. Technically, Your Way's still my boss, and I don't want to get fired. But we'll have to see how it goes as Levi has entered the bot lane again.
Yeah, and he's not spotted by the bot lane from Team Secret, and the bot lane from Team Secret is very confident today. We saw it earlier, where they really weren't really respecting the gank from Levi, with Penguin being up on their back, and they might just fall prey to it. Also, their summoner spells not all up. I mean, Eddie still doesn't have flash. He would have the heal, but the Lantern, of course, Lantern makes it great. Yeah, very great ability. Basically, just a free summoner spell for them here.
I think they're going to look to try and turn this into a potential dragon with Cardi moving down, the wave pushing. Levi spent a lot of time in the bush. He didn't really miss anything. His camps weren't up, but I think they'll want to turn this into this Infernal Drake. And yeah, there it is, starting it up. Team Secret doesn't look too interested. I think they're okay with just giving this one away. They know it's happening. I think they're just happy farming it.
Yeah, they also can't really do much about it. Penguin already pathing towards his wolves, and maybe just now, maybe having a change of heart and going for it, but he will be too late for it. Also, speaking of the farm, Levi ahead of the Lee Sin is expected. He does have a very good clear speed. But what really worries me a little bit for the side of GAM, it's what happens in the bot lane, because even after all this help from Levi, the Jhin time Kenshin is struggling to keep up with the Jinx lane. So that is something that's not a good sign for them for sure, because even if they would be even, it would not be a good look for the Jhin, and him falling down in CS, also giving away the first blood kill with the bonus on it, is something that really speaks favor for Eddie. He also went for the call, which would mean he will cash in later on in the mid game and will have a very strong point at this point of the game when he can cash in, when he will have the Kraken Slayer or the Gale Force for him, and can maybe get excited in the later team fights.
Speaking of builds, I want to have a look at the mid lane. There has been a lot of discussion about Ryze, particularly in the LCK. What do you think of this tank Ryze build? Is it overrated, or is it just the way to play the champ?
Well, how is it rated? I mean, mostly just here.
Well, it's being built.
Not really the best opinion of it. It is being built. I think it's not awful, but it's also not really convincing me, because White in general doesn't really convince me. I just think Victor, Corki, but maybe even Orianna are currently better mid laners, and just play the classic style of those. But
we're gonna have to come back to it, because Hero's about to burn down. GAM have just completely out macroed Team Secret here. They seem to just not think that this was a possibility around an 8-minute Herald. They just had nothing in mind. They're going to try and set up a dive onto Style, but it's only 2. The hook has to hit. If it doesn't, they're in real strife. Zhuhao already taking a little bit of punishment. Good flash away from Style. One more from Eddie. One more. No!
Oh, no!
Oh, no, Crincy. It's an absolute disaster. As the Jinx falls, GAM have just completely outbrained and outfingered them.
That's just sad to see. I mean, at the top side, it was just Team Secret disrespecting the Velma possibility, and also the Worm from B coming out to really go for the 2 kills on their side. And yeah, you just called it before it happened, basically, with the dive. The hook has to hit, it just didn't. But here we see the replay of this top side Herald area fight, where both of them collapse onto the top side from GAM, with also B being around, which kind of surprised him, and the Realm Warp, of course, just on top. Kati doesn't really have much mana, but enough mana for a Wound Prison combo, so it will be the downfall of Penguin. Here we see the bot lane dive again, when you call it before, as I just said. The death sentence has to hit. He even flays before, then doesn't have death sentence up already, I think, so he doesn't go instantly for it. I think if he does, it would be a guaranteed hit. Eddie tries to complete the dive, but he was taking the turret for some reason, because Shua apparently was leaving the aggro when he flashed out, so it was just another kill on the side of Style, where they would be in position to kill Style beforehand. And like this, it was just GAM winning both sides of the map, and the game already falling apart for Team Secret here.
Yeah, look, I think we looked at this draft and liked what we saw out of Team Secret, but this is kind of alluding to what I said on the desk, is I needed to see, I was talking about the SBTC game, but I wanted to see Team Secret playing well as a team, and I think we are seeing the opposite. They gave up the first dragon. I was okay with that, whatever, you seed the first drake, not that big a deal, but then to just not have anything ready for an 8-minute Herald, like, that's not a new play, guys. You have to have something in mind.
Yeah, exactly. That's what triggers me, because the first 8 minutes, the draft, it was very much well done by them, and then they just botch it all up with a single Herald sequence where they were like disrespecting the globals. And if they just choose to give up the Herald, I would respect them a lot more here there. And or maybe even have a better vision setup, maybe be better prepared. Don't panic on the bot lane dive. Like this, Team Secret would have a much better look. But with what they just now brought us, they really aren't doing themselves a favor. Now 3k gold down the Inferno deck as well, and the Herald, it has already been casted, which is kind of, at least speaking a little bit in their favor. But it's not a good look right now for them. Even with Jin being a bit down in CS, it will probably not matter either way.
Yeah, I don't think it matters very much at all, as he's not going to be the main carry source for this team regardless, as Levi very confident to step in. The death sentence comes out, doesn't land. Zhu Hao looking a little bit sloppy so far this game. Though, of course, that was just fishing. They'll go back to farming it up, and Team Secret, they need to find a way to get themselves back onto the right foot.
They definitely will, and with Ocean Drake coming up in a few seconds, it will probably be something that Team Secret cannot contest yet. What is kind of their hope, I think, is just having the scaling on the Jinx and the Victor pick. But speaking of the Victor, he's kind of getting form end here, and this might just be Artifact's downfall.
Yeah, it certainly will be, as Victor has been claimed. There's a teleport coming in, there's a Q landing from Lee Sin, but the response is just not there. It's another kill going over to GAM, completely unresponded to by Secret.
Yeah, it wasn't really a good response possible for Artifact as well. I mean, he has his flash up, but he knows if he flashed there, he will probably just die anyway. What I kind of applaud him for is forcing the flash out of Kati, but that was maybe also just Kati taking too much turret aggro. There were 4 people around there, he's not the tankiest one of them. Maybe that can be correlated a tad better from the side of GAM, but either way, GAM just get the kill somewhat cleanly. Also, the Ocean Break on top for them. And even the Victor, I just a few seconds earlier addressed as maybe like the late game hope for Team Secret, falls down, and that's not a good look for them. Victor also, I mean, farming wise, he's doing well, but without him getting any takedowns, he really takes some time to really get his glorious evolution passive stacking going on. And so far, that hasn't really happened.
No, it certainly hasn't. We're going to need something really glorious for Secret to get back in this one. A nearly 3,500 gold lead at 12 minutes, coming up on 13. I mean, this is just what GAM does to teams. They just pick people apart. GAM used to be a team that just completely out-mechanicked everyone, but honestly, in the last year or so, they've become a team that just out-macros people, and that's really, really terrifying, because they haven't necessarily been making incredible mechanical plays, but speaking of which, we do have Penguin going in. The Rocket's there as well, and Team Secret do manage to fight back with that one. Levi throws out the needlework, can't actually find anything, and GAM, they can't answer that play.
Yeah, that's something I want to see more from Team Secret, because that was just well done with them. Penguin lands a Sonic Wave, just goes instantly for the insect into the hook from Zhu Hao, and follow up Super Mega Death Rocket coming up for Eddie to even take the shutdown money. And Artifact, now he has his flash, maybe now he needs it. He doesn't.
He just sidesteps. He just had his Nikes laced up real tight, Crincy. He was totally fine. Walks on out of there.
Yeah, walks on out, and that's also something I want to see more. I mean, him saying cool. I would have flashed that for sure. I mean, I just thought that he maybe would need to flash there, but yeah, him being confident, going for the sidestep. He has tier 1 boots, so he can somewhat dodge the skill shots, and I just applaud him for it. I mean, farming wise, he's falling down some CS against Kati, which is of course partly at fault to him being gang pressured, but so did Kati just now. But I'm saying the Victor needs some more time to scale up, but if the game keeps going like this for a few more minutes, maybe even Secret can somewhat stabilize in this game. The 3k gold lead was a 3k gold lead even like 4 or 5 minutes ago, and it is not extending at an alarming pace, I would say.
Yeah, that's very true. We are, of course, on a Cloud Rift as well, so it's not the most disastrous soul to give up. Style takes a bit of punishment. Levi has to back off this Rift Herald. So GAM, finally Team Secret actually stymie one of their plays, actually make GAM regroup.
Making them regroup, and it is for a second Herald. I really don't know what the Rockets is all about, because that Herald is not of that high of a value. You don't really get turret plates from it. You can maybe just get a good charge off if you happen to win the skirmish before it, but I don't really see Secret doing that as long as Zhu Hao or Penguin do a play like they did earlier again. And yeah, they also don't really fight over.
Here they go, as the Jin ultimate has opened up, B tagged up. Zhu Hao immediately has to flash away, but he's found from the 4 shot from the Jin. Penguin, he's in trouble, smites for some health. He has that W to get away, but here's Kiaya. There's another W from Style. He gale forces forward. That might have been a little bit too over-aggressive, but they can't lock him down. Cardi plays the screen perfectly. Levi takes a little bit of damage, but none of it's mortal, and GAM are just playing this to an absolute T.
They do, and Shura was just caught within the rotation, and I think they shouldn't have gone for the rotation in the first place, so that's really doubtful of them. Style, of course, with the Gale Force offensively was maybe a little
Don't
bit
lose
too
the
greedy,
game
but
here, guys.
we kind of got away with it. It's just a favorite number 2. It doesn't mean much, and GAM just
What are they
takes it.
doing? Oh god, game's over. The game just ended. That's a horrible, horrible call there from Team Secret. That is shocking. The rocket goes in. It doesn't find anything. Kiaya is bearing down on Hero. Artifact is actually going to be there, but with a Realm Warp coming in, GAM is going to bring friends. It's actually just going to be Cardi, but that's plenty to force the victor away and take down Hero. And Secret, that was a horrific play.
Definitely a horrific play. I mean, we were calling it before it really happened. It's just a second turret. You don't really need to fight over it that much. And I also think with the Cloud Soul, the God of Summoner's Wit was kind of doing them a favor, because you could just even potentially give it up, like scale for 10 more minutes, have the Jinx online, have the Victor online, have like Jace on 2 or 3 items, and maybe even fight it out a little bit better. But like this, just gave over the Herald itself, and also 2 free kills for the side of GAM, who are suddenly almost 5,000 gold ahead, and can also... On their side, I mean, they already have the priority going on. They can easily make a good Herald charge on their side, and here we see it again. Artifact and Eddie, like,
Why?
I mean, they're just asking to get flanked by Cardi here, and the whole CCC is up for the side of GAM. Penguin dies almost instantly, didn't have flash either way, so all his mobility was basically a safeguard or hitting a good Sonic Wave to Resonating Strike. But you just basically lost the game over a second Herald. You were fine before it to some degree, I would say, considering what happened earlier, but you aren't really helping yourself out much here.
No, you're really, really not. I feel like I'd say I'd love to have heard the comms, but I don't think there was any. I think that's the problem. That looked like an incredibly disjointed team, which is the exact opposite of what I want to be seeing out of Team Secret up against GAM. This is not a graceful loss by any means. As
Definitely
GAM
isn't.
moves up to Soul Point.
And it could have been a graceful loss, I would say, if they just don't go for this skirmish, and also like the cross map play that happened earlier, where they were like trying to dive style and didn't really get that going on, and disrespect the Realm Warp at the top side at the 8-minute mark. I mean, if they fix like those two boneheaded plays and don't do them in the next time, maybe there is a chance for them to have a graceful loss. But like this, it really isn't happening. Eddie here getting out. Eddie has been playing okay for the most part.
Artifact, he's in a lot of trouble as forward goes Style. They pick up one with the Gale Force. Tamkench will get a second. The tower will eventually go down as well. That backdoor protection keeping it for a little bit, but not long enough. And Team Secret, yeah, look, we can probably put it to bed. We said before that Herald throw, they might have had a chance to lose slowly. Now they're going to bleed out rapidly.
Yeah, they will definitely bleed rapidly. Also, mid lane tier 1 turret, very good turret to keep like some stabilization going on, have some map control, especially fighting towards Dragon or Baron, and with Cloud Soul coming up very soon already. It's less than 4 minutes, and the game is not even 20 minutes in. Will be very quick for the side of GAM, and you don't really want to give away the Cloud Soul either. I mean, maybe even they try to lose the game again over that Dragon instead of maybe having like the patience to hope for an Elder Flip, which would be like their miracle chance to get back into this game. And Cloud Soul is something that, of course, also would help Levi on the Gwen. And here we see the skirmish again that happened earlier. Lotus Trap hitting into Deadly Flourish on the side of Eddie. So Eddie has to put his legs in his hands and has to run there. Also, Dark Passage coming out from Shuhao to have like some grace of him. And the Herald Charge combined with all the collapse coming out from GAM onto the mid lane tier 1 turret leaves Artifact in a position where he can just get easily dove, and Artifact falls again, has his flash not up back. And 2 free kills for the side of GAM, and the game kind of is exploding, and Team Secret is not really seeing any grace here.
And if you want to have a visual reference to how doomed this game is, that was possibly the worst angled Jhin ult I've seen in a very, very long time. That Jhin ult was never getting anything done, and they still dominated the fight without, one of the better ults in the game. So somehow I think GAM are pretty damn far ahead, Quincy. And they just have to push this lead, just keep it going. Of course, it's only 20 minutes in. They've shoved them back to their inners. Kiaya, look at the damage coming out. Can't quite connect the W, so Penguin will be able to run away. But Team Secret are just going to get slowly pressed in this 1-3-1.
If it really is that slowly, to be honest. And I think if a Deadly Flourish hits onto Penguin, he might just have to flash or even just straight up die to Kiaya, because it was kind of a corridor where you can bounce back the end of the line from Son of Graves, maybe even fire the ultimate on top of him to really make quick thoughts of Penguin. And speaking of Penguin, he maybe has to go for Miracle Steal at the 20-minute, because 20-minute Baron is something that GAM likes to do here. They actually get into the pit, I think. Sonic Wave was hitting, and GAM has to back away from the Baron.
Yeah, I think GAM was kind of trying to play that one as a we'll try and get a game-deciding fight. I don't know how much they actually care about the Baron buff itself. Levi actually has to be a little bit respectful. Could have gotten burst out by the Lee Sin there. Penguin didn't want to go for it, probably wisely. But Team Secret do push GAM off of the worm, and they'll hold that one for now.
Yeah, I also think they likely just wanted to bait out the fight, or even if the fight wouldn't happen, let's say an 80% chance they just get this Baron and can just have the win condition of the Baron that you addressed last week. I remember that very well. When you already are far ahead, you can do a lot of with the Baron. From behind, it doesn't really do that much for you, and the Baron really would make it very easy, especially for the Graves in the side. But he has Shield Bow and Bloodthirster already, so he's basically a tank right now, as long as he doesn't get CC chain, and even then he's kind of tanky because he still has the Shield Bow shield and the Steel Caps to survive some bit. Levi?
Caught out, but there's a time catch there. Gives a massive shield. Zhu Hao comes in with the hook. Can't hit it. A good kick coming out of Penguin, but Style has flash. The resonating strike isn't quite good enough. The rocket will be, though, as they do manage to pick up a kill. Can he get the second? Levi solo? He can. That's a double kill now for the Jinx. They bear down on Cardi. He's a bit too tanky, though. And now Team Secret can start the Baron. This could be the start to the miracle.
That could be the start to the miracle, indeed. Smite down, Style down, Kati and Kiaya are though very fat, so they can do a lot of damage here. Secret has to play it cleanly.
Whoa, but that Graves ult rips across 4 and does horrific things to Team Secret. They turn around back onto Cardi, and I don't think there's the engage here from B and Kiaya, so they stop the Baron but lose the Levi. Or lose the Cardi.
And likely lose the Cloud Soul. Or in case of this situation, I think both teams kind of not going for it. But I think Gando has the positioning advantage on it. Style also already respawning and coming out of the space as well as Levi. So it will likely, due to the HP advantage that this massive collateral damage from Kiaya just created and forced everyone to back off, will likely just be the decider for the Cloud Soul. But in general, I'm not too convinced with what Gam just tried there, going for this bright buff play. And giving away free kills, already shutdown money going out to the side of Secret. And Secret now is confident enough to really go for a potential Cloud Drake flip. And I'm really not too fond of that. I think they really should drop it. It's just a soul. And we saw in the team fights that actually Secret has some standing.
Oh dear. Great. That's a dead Jace. He was just perma-CC'd. He could not move. Could not click the lantern. Now Penguin in trouble. Does manage to get away to a ward, but it doesn't matter when the Deadly Flourish is followed up by the Needlework. And GAM, they looked shaky for just a moment, Crinsy. But they're right back on the horse.
And that's for the Cloud Soul, right? Just two very important members just dying again. Beforehand, you had 3 kills onto GAM and maybe just could have backed off there and just get back onto the map. But them trying the Baron is, of course, something I can kind of understand, but here, I mean, without Penguin, they just know they need to have a miracle steal. This will be nigh impossible.
Yeah, try it with the Jinx ult. Doesn't work out though. The Jin ult makes sure they get away safely, so that will be 5 purple buffs for GAM. And look, there's been moments where Team Secret could have had a chance, but it's only been moments.
Yeah, it's only been moments, and that's kind of what really triggers me to still be like supportive of this team and making me have this bold prediction of them making playoffs, because I think they are rough around the edges, but if they fix those issues they have, and the issues are very obvious, I think they can be a very good team, and they show some signs of life even against the likely best team in the league right now, which is of course GAM. And Cardi here, Everfrost is getting sidestepped.
Oh, Realm Warp! You can't do that! Bubble Hearth got turned off a long time ago.
Yeah, they removed the get out of jail free card a few years ago already, and he just tried to get out of jail again, and yeah, that doesn't happen. Kati gets caught in the side lane, one more pick for the side of Secret, and yeah, some sense of life, as we said, it's not enough to take this game. We definitely assume here they are still 6k gold down, and they are down the soul, they are down the Baron buff against GAM, but if they keep getting picks, there's like a 1 out of 100 chance maybe even to take this game here.
So you're saying there's a chance. And I mean, look, Gotta play to your
It's
out.
not absolutely zero, right?
It's true. It is very true. Lightning could strike the GAM house and get Team Secret back into this one. But they are certainly still in full control. Eddie is going to be a scaling threat. That's a 3-item jinx. The rest of Team Secret has kind of fallen apart, but Eddie looking really good. And I know, I don't want to say that because I know Milky's already typing in chat, but he is having a good game.
Yeah, he definitely is having a good game. Also going for the build, which is not having an Infinity Edge at 3 items, which is, of course, something that would maybe even get his damage charged through the roof. But I like having those 3 items here because it is just a very good DPS manifestation in itself with the Lord Dominic's Regards. It does a lot of damage no matter what the enemy comp really is. And also what I want to highlight is a little bit artifact on the Victor. He doesn't have any kill, but he has his passive fully stacked up. The Glorious Evolution is happening, or has already happened fully. He has all the spells upgraded and is on 2 items by now. Ludens into Lichbane deals a lot of single target damage especially. And if they happen to get a pick onto Levi, onto Kiaya, or even onto one of the other carries, they will deal a lot of damage to them and maybe finish anyone off within seconds.
Penguin tries to go for a big play there onto Levi, kind of stuffs it, but gets out safe. Really, the only thing he loses is the Dragon's Rage. Cooldown, that's not too bad. You may as well go for it.
Might as well go for it. Meanwhile, we see on the sideline here Kiaya with the Baron and Pop minions and his shotgun himself. Of course, he can just deal a lot of damage to this turret, but Artifact doing a somewhat decent job at defending it. Can keep the turret at half HP, but the Baron is, I think it just now faded off.
Yeah.
Because we see the bot lane not having it anymore. And we see Style takes a lot of damage from just getting looked at funny.
Kiaya playing very far forward.
And Hero, he does a lot of damage. Jace's not a bad like a champ.
Okay, yeah, that is a big bit of damage out of Jace as he picks up that shutdown straight onto Kiaya.
And that's just not really played cleanly by the side of GAM. That Kiaya just gets caught up within the jungle rotation there. I mean, he would fight anyone in the 1v1, I would assume, but this was not just Jace in the 1v1 here. And him just disrespecting the damage that could come out towards him just gives Secret another little opening. And Secret, with the scaling they have on their side, there is a very small chance that they actually can do something. Maybe even want the Elder Drake that would spawn in 80 seconds. Here we see again what Kiaya did. Just takes a shock blast to the face, and later on, I think it is Penguin that's following up on it a little bit more. It is actually a straight up solo kill.
It's just a straight up solo bolo. Yeah. We do have a fight breaking out in the picture-in-picture as Artifact has gone down immediately, but Levi turns gold. But the rest of GAM is here. Hero's going to make sure it's at least a 2-for-1, but he's now on the run, and there's a lot of big boys on the way as Carty is gifted a kill.
Carty gives the kill. There's a 2-for-1, but Levi actually being down could very much hinder GAM. He will luckily respawn for them for the Elder Break, and now just objective shutdown. Kiaya, maybe? If the zap lands, maybe they can maybe chase on towards him, but without the zap, there's just no way to really catch the Graves here. But they at least force a flash. Levi is still down, and he really needs to run fast towards his Elder Break. Otherwise, Secret could just maybe at least get some vision advantage there, maybe even start the Elder Break. But I don't think that is really that consequential, as he will respawn in time. And Artifact and Hero, of course, also went down on their regard. And here we see again what happened there. Artifact was getting solo killed by Levi, Snip, Ayaya coming out from Gwen. And there's no way for Victor to defend himself. Hero at least comes to the rescue, kills Levi, but then, of course, is also falling in the aftermath of that. I really question the decision making there, because you just TP for a 1-for-1 and it's not that close before the Elder. So I think you just
Shuhav's dead. Just caught out, CC'd. Artifact, I think he'll be falling as well as Levi gets that ultimate reset, and this is a disaster. Penguin, oh, Team Secret, learn how to approach a goddamn objective. I'm sick of watching this. You're so good in between objectives, and then something spawns and your brains turn off. It's disgusting. Eddie has to flash away, but he's going to get caught out by Carty. There's nothing this Jinx can do. With the Elder not even bothered to secure, they know they don't need it. They're just going to end the game. GAM will be picking up game 1.
Yeah, and I was saying something about like Team Secret at least surviving towards like the 30-minute mark, man. And yeah, I guess they technically did that, but I mean they were basically falling apart at every objective, and the game is about objectives. So I'm not really too sure if I can really compliment Team Secret on anything here. I think they showed some signs of life, also some signs of promise, but at the end of the day, GAM, even with in our opinion,